Hello, Rory. Can you hear me, Rory?
Yep, I gotcha.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Did you receive
Using the phone this time, I get better volume on the phone than I do on my laptop.
Beautiful, beautiful. Did you receive documents from Olga? Check your email. You should print 2 things if you can.
Okay, hang on.
Jeanette also, did you receive something from Olga? And good for Vicky as well. You should print what she sent. 2 documents, 2 one-pager.
Yep, I got them.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I got them too.
Beautiful, bro. If you can print, that would be nice. You don't have to, though. Some people don't have printers. All right. Good afternoon, Randy. Good evening for you on your side.
Yes, good evening.
Beautiful.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. Good. Beautiful. I receive your messages, I receive your thoughts and so on. I didn't look at it yet, but I will.
Okay, as time allows. I know you're...
I know. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for your grace
Yeah.
there.
Uh,
Your friend Rory is here with us.
Hey, Rory, okay.
Hey, Brandy, how's it going?
Good. I see the top of your head there on the
That's
screen.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the cell phone to get better volume than I do off the laptop.
Yeah,
So
he's on the
Okay.
phone tonight. It's a phone that he has. All right, we'll wait for others to come. It is 3:57 on my time here. Almost
Oh,
4.
I feel like I'm going back in time when you say that.
Oh yeah. We're behind here. Sun is
Yeah.
shining. The day's good so far.
hey, Randy, it was kind of a cold day today. It only reached 75.
Oh, stop. Got up to 59 here today.
It's not too bad.
I guess that's good for New York.
Good for the apple crop.
Yeah, that's it. New York are good. The New York Rangers, they are in the playoff. I know it's not you don't follow, but I do. The New York Rangers are very good.
Oh,
Yeah, but North Carolina defeated the heck out of the Islanders.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Hello, Krista. Still can you hear me well?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. Good. You're welcome, dear you. Beautiful. Wait, did you stay with us this morning? Was it okay, Krista?
Yep.
Good. Beautiful. Make sure that you print what Olga sent to you, the 2 pagers that we sent. One is looking like this. It's a chart, landscape chart of the time of the Gentiles. Make sure that you have this with you. And there is another one that looks like this also, that you should basically print. If you don't have them, it's no big deal because you can return to them. I will welcome Rod. It's 3:59 right now on the... Hello, Rod. Rodney, how are you, dear bro? Good to see you. We're just missing, I think, Kenneth. So we'll wait 1 more minute and then we'll go for it. Randy, not Randy, but Rodney, if you receive documents from Olga, something like this, print the page out. That will be helpful for tonight. Tonight Vicky will be happy because I'm planning to take my time. Daniel chapter 2. I don't know about Kenneth, he might join later.
I think he said it was, if I remember correctly. He would be coming in later.
That's it. Yeah, I keep an eye. That's what's difficult for me because I need to receive you guys. You know, you appear and then I need to invite you in.
Okay.
So I need to keep an eye on the corner of the computer to see the people that are coming in.
Let me see if he's. I'll text him real quick.
All right, if you do so, that's beautiful. We'll start slowly before we get into prayer. I just want to make sure right now at this point, I know that it's a lot of documents. I'm going to ask you to turn in your Bible, which is the priority, in Daniel chapter 2. So have your Bible ready, whatever translation you use, in Daniel chapter 2. Then, if I would be you, I would have the outline, the main outline of the course, right after the 7 churches on page 12. It's on the board. And you read from the top, Roman 1, the times of the Gentiles. Then what I would like you to have also is this one. With the blocks, it's review. It's borrowed for the full-fledged class on the book of Daniel, part of what we did also, but I'm just going to review it because it is so important. And this one, which is the same as the bottom page of this one, but it's landscape, basically kind of a chart style to make the reading of it somewhat easier. So that's what we will do tonight. I'm planning to do with you the totality of the times of the Gentiles as a review, as a summary. Not willing to go into all points of details because it was covered in our study of prophecy in the past months and so on. But I have Rorita is new and some people that are just joining us and so on. So I just want to make sure that we are on the same page with this.
Kenny said he's having trouble with his computer, but as soon as he gets it, he'll join us.
Okay, I'll keep an eye. Right on. Randy, would you mind, since you undo yourself the microphone, would you open with a word, please? Would you do that?
Sure.
You see, that's the way. If you put on your microphone, you're stuck. Now you need to pray. So if you don't want to pray, keep your microphone off.
Are you recording tonight?
It is recording as we speak, not on Zoom, but on the YouTube channel.
Okay. Let's take a moment to pray here. Father, Lord God, you are just so amazing, and your word is so filled with richness. We just come to you tonight, Lord, with empty stomachs and empty spirits to be filled with the richness of your word for a deeper understanding and insight and for motivation. Lord, we just ask you to clear any distractions we may have that are going on in the background, Lord, in our lives. And just help us to focus on you. Father, we thank you for Francois and the desire you've given him to pass information on. Just ask you to increase in him as he speaks and that he would decrease so we could get a full picture. And I just thank you, Lord, for this time. In Jesus' name.
And we say amen commonly. That's beautiful. And actually, Kenneth will appear in a moment of time. I think, I sure hope so. Yeah, he's there. He will appear somewhere. Beautiful. So the reason why I want to cover the times of the Gentiles tonight as a review to define it and to look at the 4 chapters that are directly involved with the times of the Gentiles, it's to avoid any kind of mistakes possible as far as to get carried away with events that we have around the world. Kenneth, just print what Olga sent you. You should have 2 pages to print, one landscape and the other one portrait style and so on. Just like I said, it's to avoid the major mistake that the people do because of events based upon in North America, specifically the United States, how they behave with Israel, and they draw a conclusion actually based upon events that goes in the world to say the tribulation did begin, the church are in it, and so on and so forth. So that's why we'll take a class valuable to review tonight our times of the Gentiles. You know that chart. It's behind us right now. The things which John saw, it's behind us. The right about the things which are, the church age, it's behind us. So in Revelation chapter 1 verse 19, the things that will happen after these things were there. So that's the third natural division of the book of Revelation, and we are at this place right now. I just want to go back to the church age. Here you have the dispensation that I spoke about. You have this chart. The church age is located right there. Okay? And that's basically the magnified version of only that section here. But what I want you to know is that the times of the Gentiles goes back this way, and it goes also forward towards the end of the Great Tribulation. So the church age is not the totality of the times of the Gentiles, but it's a long period within the time of the Gentiles, okay? So I'm going to give you lots of information slow tonight. If we don't cover it all, it's okay. But I just want you to know that here you have the law, and basically the times of the Gentiles not necessarily began in the year 700, but it began in 586 BC. But it goes back to 700-800, where there were people in the planet. There were people in Rome at that time, nations that would grow to elevate to be part of the times of the Gentiles. So what you will receive tonight is extensive. And just make a note right now that the times of the Gentiles will come to an end at the second coming of the Messiah, not at the rapture, the second physical coming. So the church is a major part of it, not the totality of it, and we have events that needs to take place before we get into the Great Tribulation. All right, I would like with you, having said all this, to define it. I would like you to note this. If you can read it or go back to your notes, I would like to define the times of the Gentiles as we have it in Luke chapter 21 verse 24. The definition is based on the Luke chapter 21 verse 24. I read it for you. 21:24. And they will fall by the edge of the sword, and will be led captive into all the nations, plural, and Jerusalem will be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. So you take that verse, and with this verse we are capable of defining the times of the Gentiles. It goes this way, based upon this slide. What's the time of the Gentiles? It is this quote. It is that long period of time from the Babylonian destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BC and the Babylonian captivity until the second coming of Yeshua, during which time the Gentiles hold dominion over the city of Jerusalem and the Jewish people. I repeat. What's the time? How do we define the time of the Gentiles? It goes like this. Long period of time from the Babylonian destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BC. That's where Nebuchadnezzar went to Jerusalem. He did two campaigns before that one, but this one in 586 BC, he destroyed the Temple of Solomon in 586 BC. The temple was standing in Jerusalem, and then Nebuchadnezzar took control of the city and the temple compound. Bang! Times of the Gentiles. It goes until the second coming of Yeshua, during which time the Gentiles hold dominion over the city of Jerusalem and the Jewish people. Of course, they will be taking over, because as we speak, they are in charge, the Jewish people, of the old city. But they will lose the foothold at that place that they have. They will lose it under the Antichrist. I don't mean to go in history about all the takeover and losing. It's part of the full-fledged exposition of the book of Daniel. We have defined it. I don't need to read a third time. B, C, D, E on your outline, the main outline, goes like this. We need to look at four passages of the Bible to get the full-fledged exposition of the times of the Gentiles. The first one is Daniel chapter 2, verses 31 to 45. I would like to go there. The second passage will be chapter 7 of Daniel, verses 1 to 28. Then, relating to us, D, Revelation chapter 13, verses 1 to 10, and also Revelation chapter 17, from verses 7 to 14. I would like you to look at this one at a time. What I would like you to do, and I don't think that I'm treating you as kids, but that's the best way, because when you print things, your eyes, while I speak, go back and forth on different outlines. So if I would be you, I would take this. These are only suggestions. I would fold it like this so that you have the two squares on top, and I will fold it like this, so now that you have only Daniel chapter 2, and on the other side you will have Daniel chapter 7. We will combine the two chapters, and then we will do the bottom of the page and the chart. I want to tell you right now that the bottom of the page here is a summary of the two chapters of Daniel combined together, chapters 2 and 7. All the explanation given there, which I will go through tonight with you. And that bottom part here that you have here is the exact same thing as this. They're one and the same. Olga did this for me. Okay? So I like charts, because for those who are visual, they like it. And I will explain them as we go. Is it okay with you? Are you with me? You need to tell me. At least do it. Good. I need to know these things. All right? Now you come with me. We read the text tonight. We will read a lot because we have 4 passages to read, and they are on your outline. So don't search in your Bible. You know where to go right now. You come with me. I'm just going to ask you to circle a few things, and that's it. The first passage to look at for the times of the Gentiles is Daniel chapter 2, verses 31 to 45. Come with me, I read. You, O king, were looking, and behold, there was a single great statue. That's the statue in Mesopotamia in the time of Nebuchadnezzar. That statue, which was large and extraordinary splendor, was standing in front of you, Nebuchadnezzar, and its appearance was awesome. The head of that statue was made of fine gold, the breast and the arms of silver, the belly and the thighs of bronze, its legs of irons, its feet partly iron and partly clay. When you mix the clay with metal, it doesn't adhere together, okay? It doesn't glue well together. Verse 34, you, Nebuchadnezzar, continue looking until a stone was cut out without hands. Whenever the word stone is used symbolically, it's always a symbol of the second person of the triune God. The stone is the Messiah. And it struck the statue on its feet of iron and clay and crushed them. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, silver, and gold were crushed all at the same time and become like chaff from the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away so that not a trace of them was found. A trace of the first part, basically, of the Gentiles' empire, the first 4. But the stone, Christ, that stuck the statue, became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. Circle mountain. Whenever the word mountain is used symbolically, without fail, it's always a symbol of king, kingdom, or throne, one of the three. Here, it's the kingdom, the messianic kingdom. The stone struck the statue, so basically demolished completely the times of the Gentiles, and this stone became a great mountain and filled the whole earth in power, an absolute monarchy. This was the dream. Now we, including his friends, tell its interpretation before the king Nebuchadnezzar. You, O king, are the King of kings, to whom the God of heaven has given the kingdom, the power, the strength, and the glory. And wherever the sons of men dwell on the planet, or the beasts of the field, or the birds of the sky, he has given them unto your hand, and has caused you, Nebuchadnezzar, to rule over them all. You are the head of gold. So Nebuchadnezzar never exercised authority over the planet, but he could have. Okay? After you will arise another kingdom, arise to you. After you, Nebuchadnezzar, with the Babylonian Empire, will arise another kingdom inferior to you. This will be the Medo-Persian Empire. You have it done. You have right there on your square number 2 here. Okay? That's the other kingdom. Inferior to you. That's the Medo-Persian. Then another third kingdom of bronze which rule over the earth. This is the Hellenistic Empire that you have on your chart. Verse 40. There will be a fourth kingdom as strong as iron, inasmuch as iron crushes and shatters all things, so like iron breaks in pieces, it will crush and break all these in pieces. This is the imperialism and the first stage of it, which is the United Stage Rome, which will come after Alexander the Great, which is the Hellenistic Empire. Carry on. 41. In that you saw the feet and the toes, partly of potter's clay and partly of iron, it will be a divided kingdom. And it will have in it the toughness of iron, inasmuch as you saw the iron mix with the common clay. This will be the 2-division stage. You have it on your number 2. That's the 2-division stage that will come later. I will give you more information later. Verse 42. As the toes of the feet were partly iron and partly pottery, so some of the kingdom will be strong and part of it will be brittle. What is this? This is number 3 on box of Daniel chapter 2. This is the 10-division kingdom. You can write on your piece of paper the 10 toes. That's a reference to this. The information as far as Daniel 2 is concerned. Okay? Just verse 43. And that you saw the iron mixed the common clay. They will combine with one another in the seed of man, but will not adhere to one another, even as iron does not combine with pottery. Verse 44. In the days of those kings, which kings? The 10 kings, the 10-division stage. Circle 10 kings, those kings. The God of heaven will set up a kingdom which will never be destroyed. And that kingdom will not be left for another people. It will crush and put to an end to all these kingdoms that he named before, but it will itself endure forever. Inasmuch as you saw that a stone was cut out of the mountain without ends, and that it crushed the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God has made known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what will take place in the future. So the dream is true and its interpretation is trustworthy. So the Messianic kingdom will be established, capital E. That's the information. You cannot go further than that based upon Daniel chapter 2. You with me? Are you sure? Okay. Daniel chapter 7. You come with me. Come. Another enlarged piece of information. You come with me in Dan 7. Look at your outline. From chapter 1 to 28. Daniel chapter 7, verses 1 to 28. Let me review 2. So, what have we learned together tonight in a fast pace, or because I cannot do the full exposition? Like I said to you, it belongs to a survey of the book of Daniel in totality. I have it on YouTube somewhere. Okay? We have learned Babylonian Empire. Now you can follow with this if you want to. If you don't mind, you can look at this right now. Give you permission as if you would be 5 years old. You don't have to listen to me. Babylonian Empire. Then he talked the Medo period, the Medo-Persian Empire. It's in Dan 2. C, Hellenistic Empire. Whenever you see the word Hellenistic, you need to think about Greek language, and Greece with Alex the Great. Capital D, the Fourth Empire, which we will call tonight together imperialism. This is the big half moon on your chart, which is landscape. Daniel in chapter 2 offers us 3 of 5 stages. The united stage, the 2 division stage, and the 10 division stage. And then all of the above will disappear at the establishment of the Messianic kingdom, at the second coming of the Messiah. Daniel chapter 7. Now you take this. Daniel chapter 7, because he will provide a little bit more information. You come with me, we read the text. Daniel chapter 7, verses 1 to 28. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel saw a dream and visions in his mind as he laid on his bed. Then he wrote the dream down and related the following summary of it. Daniel said, I was looking in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds. Circle the 4 winds, because that's the totality of the earth, of heaven, were stirring up the great sea. Whenever the great sea is agitated, it's the Mediterranean Sea. The sea symbolizes the Gentile world. That's the symbolic usage of the word sea. And 4 great beasts were coming up from the sea. That's the time of the Gentiles, different from one another. The first was like lion, Babylonian Empire, and had the wings of an eagle. I kept looking until its wings were plucked, and it was lifted up from the ground and made to stand on 2 feet like a man, and human mind was also given to it. It refers back to the experience of Nebuchadnezzar in chapter 4 when he was basically transferred into an animal. Okay? But he was basically came back and he was milder to establish society and so on. Verse 5. And behold, another beast. This is the number 2 because it says, another beast, a second one, resembling a bear. That's the Medo-Persian Empire. It was raised up on one side, and 3 ribs were in its mouth, between its teeth, and thus they said to it, arouse, devour much. The Medo-Persian Empire, it's the bear that is limping on one side. He is heavy on one side and lighter on the other side. Why? Because the Medes were inferior to Persia. Persia was always stronger, so that's why the bear is lopsided. Okay? The division of the bear. We carry on. Where was I? 6. And after this, I kept looking, and behold, another one. Okay? Another one is the third one. Hellenistic Empire. Like a leopard. Are you willing to race with a leopard? You will not win the race because a leopard goes very fast. A leopard is Alexander the Great with the speed of conquest that he did. which had on its back 4 wings of a bird, and the beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. It doesn't belong to this, it belongs to Daniel right now. I need to carry on to 28. After this I kept looking in the night vision, and behold, 4 beasts, dreadful and terrifying and extremely strong, and it had large iron teeth. It devoured and crushed and trampled down the remainder with its feet, and it was different, circled different, from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. What's this here? This will be the imperialism of the large half pie. While I was contemplating the horns, behold, another horn, a little one, circle a little horn, another one, came up upon them, and 3 of the first horns were pulled out by the roots before it. And behold, this horn possessed eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth uttering great things. Here. So basically this one is different. It's going to go in stages, and I will come back to the horns with our last passage here. I kept looking until thrones were set up, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His vesture was like white as snow, the hair like pure wool. His throne was ablaze with flames, that's the Shekinah glory. Its wheels were burning fire, river of fire flowing, coming out from before him. Thousands upon thousands of angels were attending him. Myriads upon myriads were standing before him. These are angelic. And the court sat, and the books were open. That's the judgment of the Gentiles. Kept looking because of the sound of the boastful word which the horn was speaking. I kept looking until the beast was slain, and its body was destroyed and given to the burning fire. This will be fully explained in the book of Revelation. As for the rest of the beasts, their dominion was taken away, but an extension of life was granted to them for an appointed time. The Babylonian, the Medo-Persian, the Hellenistic will leave an influence in imperialism, but they will not be in authority anymore. So you will have always, during the time of the Gentiles, a taste of the Babylonian mentality, a taste of Medo-Persian thinking, and a taste of Hellenistic thinking, yet no authority. Okay, verse 13, kept looking in the night vision, and behold, with the clouds of heaven, one like the Son of Man was coming, and he came up from the Ancient of Days, and he was presented before him. This is the second person of the triune God presented to the Father, and to him was given dominion, glory, and kingdom, that all the peoples, nations, and the men of every language may serve him. His dominion is everlasting dominion, which will not pass away, and his kingdom is one which will not be destroyed. All right? As for me, Daniel, my spirit was distressed within me, and I kept the vision in my mind, kept alarming me. I approached one of those who were standing by, an angel, and began asking him the exact meaning of all this. He told me and made known to me the interpretation of these things. This is angelic interpretation. These great beasts, which are 4 in number, are 4 kings who will arise from the earth. They are the Gentiles. The earth refer to the Gentiles, and the 4 beasts will be mankind and so on. But the saints of the highest one will receive the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and for all ages to come. Okay, basically the 4 beasts here are Babylonian, Medo-Persian, the Hellenistic, and imperialism. Verse 19, then I desired to know the exact meaning of the 4 beasts, which was different from all the others. What is the 4 beasts? The big half moon on your chart, imperialism. Okay? All the others exceedingly dreadful, with its teeth of iron and its claws of bronze, and which devoured, crushed, and trampled down the remainder of its feet. And the meaning of the 10 horns that were on its head, and the other horn which came up. So if we have 10 horns, and we have another one that came up, how many horns do we have? What is 10 plus 1? 11. Other one came up, and before which 3 of them fell. Circle, 3 on them fell. That horn which had eyes and mouth, uttering great boasts, of which was larger in appearance than its associates. I kept looking at that horn, was waging war with the saints and overpowering them. The horn that came, number 11, is the Antichrist. Until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was passed in favor of the saints of the highest one. The saints are not the church saints. This is the saints Israel. And the time arrived when the saints took possession of the kingdom. Which kingdom? The Messianic kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast will be a fourth kingdom on the earth, which will be different from all the other kingdoms and will devour the whole herd and tread it down and crush it. Devouring the whole earth will be the one world government from which we wait right now. As for the 10 horns, out of this kingdom, 10 kings will arise. This is basically the 10 kings. This is one of the stage number 4 in the big pie right before the Antichrist. And it will be different from the previous one and will subdue 3 kings, circle 3 kings. He will speak out against the Most High and wear down the saints of the highest one. He will intend to make alterations in times and in laws, and they will be given into his hand for a time, times, and half a time. So this is the period of time, the Antichrist stage. He will kill 3 kings, 10 kings minus 3, 7. He will kill 3 kings, and he will be the sole ruler because they will give their allegiance to the Antichrist. And times and half a times it's 1 year, times plural 2 years plus half a year for the last period of the Great Tribulation. He will be the sole ruler of the planet. But the court will sit for judgment, and his dominion will be taken away, annihilated and destroyed forever. Then the sovereignty, the dominion, and the greatness of all the kingdoms under the whole heaven will be given to the people of the saints of the highest one. It's going to be a Jewish kingdom. His kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, and all the dominions will serve and obey him. At this point, the revelation ended. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts were greatly alarming me, and my face grew pale, but I kept the matter for myself. Go to Daniel 7. What does it say? Same. ABC, you can open like this and compare. A, B, C are the same. D, now we have an insertion of things. The fourth empire, which is the big half moon on your chart like this, will go to the United States, number 1. Number 2, basically the 2 division. Here you have the one world government. 2, according to Daniel chapter 7, the 10 division stage, the Antichrist stage, the Messianic kingdom. Now, take this and take this at the bottom of the page and fold it. Because that part is Daniel chapter 2 and 5 combined together to have a full-fledged vision of what the times of the Gentiles will be. Are you with me? Are you? Good. So now we read that, okay? And this. The first empire is Babylon. A here. You see me? It's pretty good. The second empire is Medo-Persia. B on top of Medo-Persia. Right C on top of the Hellenistic Empire. D, this is that big half moon that we see. We will call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. The United States, that's the totality of Rome. Rome never conquered the whole world here. And the policy is imperialism. The 2 division stage, make a note, the 2 division stage, it's already on your chart. That's the balance between the East and the West. That's where we are right now. The Muslim Eastern Bloc and democracy in the West. That's where we are right now. Okay? Number 3, the one world government. The East and the West are doomed to failure. This will collapse. We are on the highway to collapse. I hope it will collapse yesterday. Then the one world government will come. The 10 division stage will be the stage where when the whole earth will be ruled by 10 kings. After that, the Antichrist will kill 3. They will be down to 7. The 7 will say, let's give all the power to the Antichrist for the last 3.5 years, which is your number 5, the Antichrist stage, right there, dense. After this, the Messiah come back, establish his kingdom, and with it comes to an end of the times of the Gentiles. Have I lost you? Good. Beautiful. It's just, I don't see anything out of reach in it. If you like history like I do, you Google these things and you will end up to the same result as I do, and so on. Now, not done, because I want to use my time wisely. This was just a snapshot of Dan 2 and 7. And then you need to combine them. If you don't combine them, because Revelation was always progressive, there was a lapse of time when you receive more, God is faithful, and then you study history and you basically amalgamate these things and it makes sense. We call the big pie here, the big half moon, imperialism. Now you come with me in Revelation 13 verses 1 and 10. Come. Now we get closer to home with Revelation chapter 13. Now it's kind of fun. Let me see what I can do here. This you have. This you have. I just read it. This is exactly the page like this folded. And this, what you have, is exactly the chart that you have. I prefer this as over against this. Babylonian, Medo-Persia, Babylonian, Nebuchadnezzar, Medo-Persia, Hellenistic, Alexander the Great. The United Stage is Rome. We will see that. Rome never conquered. They come in 4 division. The 2 division stage. The one world government, the 10 division stage, the Antichrist. The United States, it was Rome. When John was writing Revelation, Israel was under Rome. He was on the island of Patmos. Then the 2 division stage is the balance of power between the East and the West. The Muslim bloc, Russia, and all the Muslim people in the East in comparison to democracy, United States of America, Mexico, and so on, the West. That's how you slash the globe. The democracy as over the Muslim bloc, but it's destined to collapse to give birth to the one world government. So we are right here, we're waiting for this, and waiting for this. So we're not at the end yet. Not yet. There's a few things that needs to come to pass before, but it can go quick. All right, let's go with this one. Pull out this one, you have it? And pull out this one. This one. This one. Pull that up. Revelation chapter 13 verses 1 to 10. You come with me. We read the whole Shabbat. I know I read with an accent, but I'm sure you understand me. At least pretend. And the dragon stood on the sand of the seashore. And then I saw a beast coming out of the sea. This is the same sea as Daniel chapter 7, the Gentile world. Having 10 horns and 7 heads. Circle the 10 horns and 7 heads. The heads I will allude in Revelation 17. And on his horn was 10 diadems, and on his head were blasphemous names. And the beast which I saw was like a leopard, Hellenistic empire, and his feet were like those of a bear, Medo-Persia, and his mouth like the mouth of a lion. Basically, that's the influence left. They are no longer in authority right now. That's what I said, an influence that is left. And the dragon gave his power and his throne and great authority. I saw one of his heads, circle heads, as if it had been slain, and his fatal wounds were healed, and the whole herd was amazed and followed after the beast. They worshipped the dragon because he gave authority to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast, and who is able to wage war with him?" There was given to him a mouth speaking arrogant words and blasphemies, and authority to act for 42 months. What is 42 months? Times, and half a time. 3.5 years was given to him. And he opened his mouth in blasphemies against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, that is, those who dwell in heaven. It was also given to him, the Antichrist, to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and authority over tribe and people and tongue and nation was given to him in the last 3.5 years. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, everyone whose name who has not been written in the foundation of the world in the book of life of the Lamb who have been slain. If anyone isn't here, let him hear, and if anyone is destined to captivity he goes. Okay? Here I'm giving you the information only as far as they pertain to the time of the Gentiles for tonight. Just for tonight, we think time of the Gentiles. The sea is the Gentile world, and the focus in Revelation 13 is on the Antichrist stage. Look at this. The focus is on the Antichrist stage in Rev 13. Okay? In verses 1 to 3, it talks about heads. This is a new element, never seen in the passage of Daniel. It's new. I will give you more info with the slide in Revelation chapter 17. Okay, then we have the same beast, Daniel 7, which was non-discrete description, but now we know more. 5 to 7, visualize what I just read 5 to 7. In 5, 6, and 7, we have the activities of the Antichrist, because it is the Antichrist stage that is focusing on. In verse 8, it doesn't take a classical course. Verse 8 describes the worship of the Antichrist. The hymn is always lowercase. It's not worship of Christ. It's the worship of the false Trinity. And in verses 9 to 10, you have basically a warning given to the people. Okay? All right? When he says in Revelation chapter 13 verse 2, I'm just going back a few moments, in chapter 13 verse 2, and the beast which I saw, leopard. Leopard is quick, Hellenistic, bear, Medo-Persian, lion, Babylonian. It's simply, like I said, these three empires, now they are demolished. They're no longer in power at the Antichrist stage. They left an influence upon imperialism with the 5 divisions of imperialism. You come with me in Revelation chapter 17. If I go beyond 10 minutes tonight, are you okay with me? If I need. Okay, good. Because I want that to be behind us tonight without rushing it. Vicky, you're good to keep me accountable. How's the speed so far?
A little fast, but fine.
A little bit fast at time? Okay. Good. I'm going to try to rectify that. I don't think it will be rectified. It will be rectified the day that I will be raptured. I promise to go slow at that day, or when I die, you will say, finally, shut up. Anyway, 17, 7 to 14. You come. Okay? This is Revelation. Who receives this? Come on, John. What year? 87? 90s, not 1990. 90s. 90, 91, 89, 91. So it's significant what I just said right now. Revelation was written in the 90s, the early 90s. Come. And when the angel said to me, John, why do you wonder? I will tell you the mystery of the woman. Whenever the woman is used symbolically, it's always a symbol of a religious entity, good or bad. Here, it's bad. And of the beast that carries her, which has 7 heads, circle that, and 10 horns. Circle 10 horns. The beast that you saw and is about to come out of the abyss, circle abyss, and go to destruction, and those who dwell on the earth, whose name has not been written in the book of life, from the foundation of the world, will wonder when they see the beast that he was, and is not, and will come. Here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains. Whenever the word mountains is used symbolically, I repeat, it's always a symbol of kingdoms, or throne. And it cannot be the 7 mountains that are to be found in Rome just because of what he says right now. Because they always use verse 9, those who teach that the 7 mountains of Rome. Here is the mind, verse 9, which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. Okay? They are not literal mountains. They are basically 7 mountains. And they are 7 kings. Here's the answer. 5 have fallen. 1 is. And the other has not yet come. But when he comes, he must remain a little while. What's that little while? 42 months, times, and half a time, 3.5 years. The beast which was and is not, is himself also an 8, circle 8, and is one of the 7, circle 7, and he goes to destruction. The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but they receive authority as kings, which the beast for 1 hour. They have one purpose, that they give their power and authority to the beast. He will kill 3. They will be down to 7. The 7 will say, come on, you lead the show right now. Where I'm at, 13 and 14. 14, these will wage war against the Lamb. And the Lamb will overcome them because he is the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. We don't discuss that. We know who it is. And those who are with him, capital H, are the called and chosen and faithful people. In Revelation 17, he focuses on the 7 heads. The 7 heads are right here at the bottom of this chart. The 7 heads are a previous form of Roman government before, basically, that they were a strength on earth, before what we call the United Stage of Rome. They go like this. The first head was the Turkish kings in 753 BC to 510 BC. They were people on earth back in 700 BC that will give birth to the Roman Empire down the road. You Google them. The second head is the consulars from 510 to 494 BC. The third head is the plebeians, or dictators. You find them in 495 to 390. The fourth head out of 7 is the Republicans, nothing to do with the Republicans of the States, or the decemvir oligarchy of 10, 390 to 59 BC. The fifth head is what we call the triumvirate, 59 to 27 BC. So basically, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 head, okay, that we have. The Tarquin kings, the consulars, the plebeians, the republicans, and the triumvirate, okay? The 6th head was the one of John's day. Powerful, we do that. Because here, in which verse was I when I see that? Just a sec, I'll find this. I need to find my 17, 7 head, okay, 7 king, okay. Verse 10, there are 7 kings, the 7 heads are 7 mountains, verse 9, on which the woman sat. And there are 7 kings, 5 have fallen. 5 have fallen. What are the 5 that have fallen when John was sitting on his laptop writing Revelation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys have fallen. What's verse 10? What does it say? One is. What's the one that is? Right here. Right there. That's the one that is. This is the United States of the Roman Empire. This is part of the 6th head. The 6th head comprises 4 different stages, but when John was writing, it was 90 AD. And this United States was from 63 BC to AD 285. So, John, when is, when you speak, and one is to come, another head that is to come. It's not this, it's this one, the 7th head, the Antichrist stage. John, 5 have fallen. No longer there in the time of John. It's 9080. No longer, no longer, no longer, no longer. 5 disappeared. One is John, the 6th head. Under the sixth head, you have 4 stages to go through. The Roman Empire. The Roman was there in the time of Christ, even after Christ, but they will disappear in the time of Charlemagne and so on and so forth. I forgot the first one. Constantinople and the time of Charlemagne, they will disappear, and then it will give birth to this. Is the Roman Empire in strong right now? No. This is the balance between the East and the West where we are. We wait for this. This is not the head because these 4 squares are the 6th head. This is the one this is the one of the time of John, and then one is to come. This is the Antichrist stage, which is the 7th head. Now, with all the numbers, we will decipher something that I want to clean up with you, which is very easy. When you read the text that I read in Revelation 17, the number 7 refers to the heads. Number 7 for the Antichrist refers to the heads. You never have lower than 7 head, and you will never get the 8. So when you see the number 7, it copes with the head. And the Antichrist is the 7th head, given in Revelation 13. When you talk about the horns, the 10 horns, there is 10 of them. The 10 horns basically refers to the number 10 in Daniel 7. It's very easy. The 10 horns, go to your chart like this. Go to number 4 on the extreme right. It says 10 division stage. The 10 kings that will rule the planet prior to give the authority solely to the Antichrist. What will he do? It's an easy math to do. 10 minus 10 minus 3 equals 7. 7 plus 1, 8. So that's why the Antichrist is the 8th horn. We have covered the time of the Gentiles. I went